Army Geniuses can get set themselves up.
Yeah, I'm looking at Makoto this game, like playing an Ember against, there's a few stuns here and there, but there's nothing like really troublesome for him to deal with, I feel. And he's got a Grimstroke behind him to give him...
See, TP's top, so 3 heroes top looking to make a play.
Q's gonna run into Varese. He's got 2 points of Inkswell, and with a long duration of it stacked onto Varese, we do have our first blood picked up from KP. They feel like they can battle to the conquer though. Maybe he's not the easiest person to bring down, especially without the Spirit Siphon charges, but bottom lane, look at Army Geniuses. I love this play. They have the recognition that the Grimstroke left the lane, so they're going to use the numbers advantage to perfection as they chase down Savage under the tower. Have too long of the Arcane. Nice positioning from Narman. It's going to be in a spot where he can pop this. Savage is even looking to swing on over as well. The question is, did they give it to Savage? To the newly formed carry onto Talon, and Makoto's like, all right, I'll take.
Making sure. It's definitely not the worst hero bit to kind of rotate against, but it's always that risk of, you leave your mid lane, he's going to take your tower.
DB, he's got Armlet already. He's going to actually battle against the duo of Talon. Nice combination. So DB secures the kill. They've still got one more Spirit Siphon. It's going to be super awkward with the Armlet toggle DB. And that's the price to pay.
But we'll see if they maybe start making some moves to go for a next tower. New siege wagons are out. They could go for another push.
Trying to... It's really just annoying Savage. I don't know if you're ever going to get the kill. Maybe it's actually Talon that can turn this to their advantage as Q looks to step in. Savage is able to miss on the combination here. So the Wraith King hasn't gone down just yet until the Tidebringer from DB. Beautifully placed with it coming off cooldown. So... now this is going to prevent Savage. I feel like he's a prime hero to get the dead lane because you don't really mind dying. More importantly, you want the gold to get closer to the blink because speaking about the Tiny, he's going to be chased down. They're too late on their rotations. Even Wommy trying to connect to mid. But how did he kill the Ember? Yeah, just easy remnant like that. Something.
Yeah. Almost feels like one of those, let's just kill his teammates first and deal with the rest.
Oh, nice blink reveal with the burst. Might not be enough. Makoto doesn't get the remnant out, however. Aim for the life, but look at Talon's positioning. They want to take the fight. KP's got the BKB and the level 2 of the EXO. So this is a scary death prophet that they have to deal with. And well, it looks like they won't even look to man fight KP. Although Azura has a double damage rune, it's actually standing his ground, and KP is not going to have anything to do with that, as they'll turn now to hide a boat out front of the outpost up top. And what a blink reveal from Narman. They not only get Makoto, but they also get a couple more supports as Azura is continuing the chase. Savage going to look to TP in the area. He's got his own blink as well, catching the Morphling off guard. EB bottom though, he will run into Makoto. Close to the tier 1 tower, but with both still on cooldown, he needed that instantly for the run buff, and there's no even way you can get it off with the lack of mana.
Flexibility there, and like, okay, we'll do a 4 protect 1. We'll also do games where KP gets more space, so it does feel like this team is very
nice toss to reposition away from the supports that are playing next to the Wraith King, so they'll easily deal with the first fight. But this fight, it's all on KP to turn it back around. Charging down the Tiny. Narman's already used the combo though. He's very split from the team, so it looks like Army Geniuses. If they can keep this tier 1 tower...
engage once KP committed exorcism, and even though Narman dies, he kind of pulled them away from the tower. But they're not done.
Run into Varese. Got Makoto, sorry, DB and Wommy behind him. Wommy, man, look at that damage. Great timing the silencer from KP. The Exo is soon to expire, and again, you're bleeding another kill, but...
in fight, they can't afford to use that many spells on the Wraith King reincarnation.
Oh, Q, nicely done.
Yeah.
They dropped the sentry, another one used. I believe they smoked underneath the observe ward on the cliffs. So this is still difficult to take. We'll try and stand their ground with how weak Roche is, but Radiant, can they get inside the pit? Beautifully placed from Nam, and he's going to be able to disrupt Talon. So it will be a free Aegis as Azura claims this one. Going to be able to waveform out to safety, but they're still hunting Savage. Blinks on the high ground, gets one swipe, and now with the Aegis claimed, Talon surrounding the Morphling onto the respawn, but Narman to safety. An avalanche combo, Torrent to fly. They still are unable to deal with the Morphling. It's Savage's job with the full-up stun. They kill him off. Talon pursuing onto DB, deep underneath the T2 tower. Onto the armlet toggles from DB. So an exceptional job to hold his life. Do they think about the tier 3? Do they go Savage?
life,
at this.
you siphon your carry.
Talon, they're
Up and
moving
up.
forward. Soul by
Oh.
now unleashing Tiny and the Morphling together. He doesn't get Manta. Oh! BKB off. No! You've got 2 defensive items and he couldn't use any of them. And now Makoto still trailing some of the Army Geniuses heroes.
TP's got BKB, but without a TP, he may just get chased down here.
The rest of Talon, they're not behind Makoto. It's only killed the
pushing.
moment. Yeah, they just want objectives. Makoto, like you said, they don't know the TP's not available. TP.
See, X mid.
Ooh.
Nice flank away.
Savage is going to pounce. The McCabe's going to be able to disjoint, but KP wants an angle into the fight and he's going to find it. Exo BKB charging down Narman. They've got Makoto swing them towards the back as well. Tiny. Ooh, hang on. What just happened? Ember just popped. So much damage from Azura. Look at him turn this fight to Army Genius's favor. Morphling turning it up a notch. It's a 2 for 2 in the end. But what could have been catastrophic.
It's not the kind of Talon results we saw in the previous games. I think Talon is still playing good, but Army Geniuses are really staying in this.
Makoto look to try and bring down the Tiny. He's a little bit angry for them making the attempt to secure the kill. Now that he's got some heroes behind him, they'll just rip apart Narman's life. And Hyde's able to find the time lapse out. They need the Morphling. It's a lot of the damage is starting to show up. Azura, what's the target?
Waveform attacks targets kind of like this farming skill. I don't know. It doesn't feel that amazing as level 20.
Kodo. The trigger that he has to hold BKB whenever they're jumping is exceptional. And now he's going to have this for the fight soon to break out. His Talon sweeping from top towards the Ancients of Army Geniuses as they'll get the kill onto Narman, and Savage is trailing Varese with the help behind. They'll make sure there's no escape. Even KP is going to look to blink towards the secret shop. Poor Varese doesn't have DB or Azura next to him. They're going to chuck out a straight boat. Makoto unable to dodge this, but look at how hesitant Army Geniuses are. Down 2 heroes. They will respect the side of Talon. A very deep ward inside the base, though. Maybe something that Army Genius is not expecting at this stage of the game. So Talon have a lot of information around mid. KP's going to jump. Instantly on top of the Conquer. They've got the Decrypt to delay this a little bit. Really needs the boat, but it's on cooldown, unfortunately. So DB's going to rely on the BKB instead. They might kill off the first life. Nice toss back and oh! Alright, this could be a fight from Army Genius, but KP instantly jumping inside the base and all of a sudden Talon, oh, they're pillaging even more. 2 drop like that. KP though, he might be in trouble as well. Alright, Army Geniuses find some way to rectify. I'm not sure.
No, it's not his current. Maybe it's I don't think Ember's Shard is that amazing. Like it's okay. It's like you may
We're gonna
as
see
well get it when
KP
you-
behind.
Yeah, here we go.
Narman and Zura. KP's instantly able to pop the BKB, but Zura's doing so much with the fresh Scardy. They rip apart the life of death proper, but look at Talon. They don't even care about the numbers disadvantage. Makoto pounces into the river, finding a multiple targets with the chains. A 1-for-1 now, but Makoto looking to give them the advantage. Over towards Narman. Another toss away. Dude, Narman is making so much happen with the support Tiny. And now Azura, he's got a free fight. There's nothing that Radiant can really do to prevent the Morphling just freely sieging down target after target. Makoto, of course, giving over the Aegis, so he's going to be okay. Narman's waiting, though, at the Remnant location, so what does Makoto do?
He's still waiting.
I don't know how Makoto gets out of this. Remnant up into the 5 seconds. He'll need the second one to make it out, but he won't even
Impossible for him to get away from this morph.
And he's got 2,700 gold as well for Azura. So what's that next item you... What's going on? Poor Varese.
Ian from Kunka.
Radiant have the outpost though, so they won't get any extra TPs.
Okay, he's gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, DB. Q's actually gonna look to jump. He's close to their higher ground now, so with Wami showing up.
Good
DB.
patience. Tricky for Talon in the late game, and I just don't think Wraith King's a carry that has a huge amount of damage to kind of contest a Morphling in a fight, or really... They're going to have to just essentially ignore this Morphling and try and deal with everyone else first, as they've done pretty well. This Tiny, Narman, he's usually one game focus in fights. This time around, he's going to get caught out doing some...
Radiant looking to try and protect their higher ground ward.
Okay,
KP to start. Dude, look at the Death Prophet go to work. BKB doesn't give a damn. Still been 6 seconds, so KP's fine. Just expend this for the life of the Gyrocopter. They've also run into Azura on the backline, but like you mentioned,
Instead of BKB.
they're smoking though. With the BKB on cooldown, maybe Makoto can't have as free of a fight, but KP is going to jump into the middle. Azura looking to follow suit as well. Wherever the Death Prophet is, Morphling soon to follow. He's going to try and transition to the northern side. Makoto's locked in place, and Azura, look at how much damage that he can dish out. The buyback forced out. They're pursuing more. What a torrent DB connecting onto two. And Dire, they're doing an exceptional job to continue to kite the fight. Now with a soul by now, but still Savage starting to beat onto the Morphling. Full strength shift, so he's not going to have a lot of damage. Needs the waveform out to safety. Radiant, unable to continue the hunt. Another waveform from Azura, so he's out. Maybe they look to Savage instead with her incarnation being on cooldown. Gonna reset though.
And keep Makoto alive in these fights.
Yeah, that's always the tricky decision that you need to come through. Is you just get decimated. It's like, do you want? Because it's a pretty goddamn good Scarter game. More for them to go for it.
Very true. Yeah.
DB. That's a good way to start. Cleave onto two. KP has to pop an early extra, but look at Azura. He can stand his ground. This is going to be a wasted extra from KP, so there's no real threat of the Death Prophet buying back, and, well, there's no even opportunity for Talon to have that as they lose 3.
A little bit.
Q? Norman again has to follow up in our Q once. Just getting decimated from the Morphling's damage. He is well and truly a threat, and you can fall back and now take Roshan.
Like, they're already having trouble dealing with the single Morphling life, so the idea of having to...
DB bottom actually might be in trouble. DB still on cooldown for a little bit of time. Blast Rig really being a big nuisance, and I guess also not having vision is something that they need is by the secret shop. Norman's gonna run into Q, so once again it's just split push.
Nice heals from Hyde on the Morph. That kind of saves KP's life there, I feel. But
okay, they
KP
have
now playing
Hex.
without a PKP.
So he's gonna use an early mantle. This Hex has to be huge. Okay, he's gonna look to try and reveal it. The chain control now, where's the follow-up? Morphling just standing his ground, and our Savage might lose the first life. Doesn't want to pop the BKB for this one just yet. How can they set up for the round 2? Look at the backline though, KP, creating some chaos along with Makoto. They haven't killed anyone off just yet, and now that Agazura with the waveform is instantly able to follow up to protect his supports. And now they're just pushing them further and further back inside the base. Savage gonna look to jump onto DB, not the easiest target to bring down, but Savage, he wants to prove otherwise. Jump over to Vreeze, crits need to rain on down, but still the reincarnation. It's on cooldown for Savage, he's gonna drop, he's got a buyback, but Azura, the unkillable, the god of this game, they just cannot claim his life. The triple for Makoto, doing whatever they can to try and withstand.
Buybacks from
Nalman's
RBGs.
back
They want to win
in
this
though.
game.
Look at the stun lock. The torrent follow-up. Makoto's in trouble. A torrent just into the measly runaway.
Here's with that buyback there. You know, they have a way to kind of turn this game.
Just 25 seconds still. You got to time these perfectly on Talon. Another toss away. KP doesn't get too far. Okay. Aegis popped. Remember, he's got shot though, so essentially double BKB. He's gonna pop the first one. Savage looking to kite. Makoto once again towards the back line. Trying to deal with the supports that brought back prior.
Refresher.
Makoto, refresher pops. She was able to play around with multiple remnants now. Look at the chaos in and out. Makoto just cannot be stopped. But that's where Azura looks to come into play. It's going to jump towards KP, towards the high ground. A waveform aggressively. Azura continued to stand his ground. Weaver's gone, but Makoto, he's doing so much work in these fights, and tell the backline, avoid Azura as best as you can.
This Pugna is so pesky in the back.
Hex once again! He's unable to get the attribute shift. Morphling's in trouble, but Wami's life drain! Is it actually enough? No!
Much done.
What? They got him!
Yeah, he's got buyback, so they're not going to win the game off of this, at least not without killing the Morphling another time, but he's going to be forced to buyback, and Talon, they choose to disengage. Makoto just going to BKB Remnant out. They say, our job is done. We just put ourselves in an amazing place right now. All we have to do is kill this Morphling one more time, and this Grimstroke Hex is proven to be the way.
They have this potential reset, which is going to be huge as Savage. Jumping, but quick reactions from Naaman. And you've got to protect this. This could be Megas, and the barracks are falling fast. Savage is going to look to beat KP off. Soulbind, but doesn't leash onto Azura. Wait, KP, no. That's a Rapier. You can't face check the Morphling. He just rips apart the life of their Death Prophet. And all of a sudden, retreat. The signal has been caught. But Azura will not give them that possibility.
Section?
Oh, Weaver's...
No!
No way.
Oh, he got him!
No buybacks.
Push out waves against Mega Creeps. The issue is, like, can you push all 3 waves? Like, anytime you want to make a play down a lane or go for a smoke, the lanes are they just push back so fast. So it's just very annoying.
Savage.
But here we go.
DB's going to look to start. All eyes on Azura and how he can get into the middle of the fight is waiting for KP to reveal his position. But Azura is unable to lock onto the Death Prophet, so KP is going to be okay. The run into Weaver through the tree line. Makoto once again creating chaos. Savage is beelining it to the base along with KP. Look at the call. They don't want to take the face check fight. They just want to look to try and end the game, and there's no glyph. Savage and KP beating onto the throne. They need some answers. Do they have any way? Throne, 70 health, and it's gone. Talon. Take game 1. Parker, what a call. Avoid the Rapier.
Yeah.
Go for the jugular.
Yeah, you've got these unkillable, like, Morphling Kunkers that do insane damage, and you force a fight outside their base. They just made a beeline for that throne. They were just like, screw it. Heads up call. And I feel like this is so often how these Mega Creeps games end, where the team the team who's defending Mega Creeps actually is stronger and is going to win any team fight. So the other team just basically cheeses them and gets the victory by saying, screw it. This is Dota. Nothing matters except the throne. Who cares about which heroes are stronger? If we kill your throne, game is over. So Talon, it was a very, very close game 1, but they managed to squeak out a victory.
Oh, that they do. What an exciting game 1 as well. I mean, heading into it, we're both mentioning the fact that Talon, they've been uncontested. Longest game, 31 minutes, and Army Genius bring the fight to them. Of course, unable to take this game, unfortunately, but I think this has to be a huge confidence booster. They could look at it like that, or they could look at it, unfortunately, in a bad way. Hopefully, it's the better one, but wow, Talon, what a game to be able to kick off our night. They're able to take it off the back of just the race in the end, avoiding the Rapier on Azura, but this sets us up perfectly for our game 2. We're going to send it over break. We're back shortly with our second game of Talon up against Army Geniuses.